Okay.
Okay.
Hello, today we are going to look at trading times and trading sections. In forex trading, we have trading time and trading sections. Now we are entering into the most important part of forex trading. So you don't need to be distracted, you have to be focused because your proper understanding of the forex market will determine if you actually know the forex cycle. So the forex cycle is the what? The trading time and sections. The trading times and sections include, you have Sydney section, you have the Tokyo section, you have London section, you have a Frankfurt section, you have a New York section. So these sections,
Excuse me.
yes.
This thing is not in English. What?
London section is English. London, I mentioned London, I meant Tokyo, I mentioned Tokyo section.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, which one is not in English? We have
the right of here, or the right of here is not clear.
The right up. Look at it.
What is showing on my screen?
The right up is let me make it bold. Can you see it is bolder now? Or let me increase the font. Increase the font size. You see it? Can you see it now very well?
Yes.
So these things are Sydney sections, Tokyo section, London section, Frankfurt section, and New York section. So now, these sections are derived from the major cities in which most of the transactions are done. For example, Sydney session, this is the Sydney session, is a Sydney session represent Australia and other countries around that time zone. So Sydney sessions represent Australia. Tokyo section, sometimes called Asian section, represent Japan and some other Asian countries. Then we have a London section represent the United Kingdom and the countries within it. The Frankfurt section, which is the what? Germany, represents the Europe. While the New York section represents the Americas. Did you get that?
Yes.
Okay, now, Forex is actually 24 hours market. It runs from Monday to Friday. Then Saturday, Sunday is not market. The market starts on early hours of Monday. So it is most at times regarded as the market that never sleeps because it's open for 24 hours of the day, except on weekends. That's what I'm trying to say. So now, so no matter where you are around the world, no matter your time zone, you can actually trade this high liquidity market. So for instance, London session opens by 8 a.m. GMT, that is Greenwich Meridian Time, and closes by 4 p.m. GMT. As a forex trader, you wouldn't want to trade a quiet market. You know, when one market is in section, do you understand? Is the market will be quiet. What do I mean by my market quiet? There will be no more fluctuations. There will be no volatility in the market. The market will be very, very slow. So you need to trade when there are two sections two markets are in sections. Do you understand? Or two markets are open at the same time. So yeah, now as a president, you don't want to tell the quiet market there won't be more fluctuation, and those movements is what that makes money for us. So it is always good to trade the market when two or more markets are in session at the same time. This is because there is high volatility, which causes rapid price fluctuations. So it is important to know that you can trade London and Frankfurt at the same time because they would be on session at
Yeah,
the
you
same
can trade London and what?
Frankfurt, yes, at the same time because they will be on session at the same time. Both of them open by 8 a.m. Greenwich Meridian time. That is plus 10 hours. I will still tell you Nigerian time. You understand? As time goes on, I will still tell you Nigerian time. So Sydney session and Tokyo session will be on session at the same time. You understand? And would have more volatility than someone that is trading at 9 p.m. because the market will be what? Quiet. You understand? Sydney session and Tokyo session will be on session at the same time, and it would have more volatility than someone that is trading at 9 p.m. because the market will be what? Quiet. Okay. So as a forex trader, always time your trading to fall in periods where two or more markets are open. So if you want to trade, you have to trade where two or more markets are open. Like now, I'm going to tell you when to trade and the best time to trade in Nigeria. As time goes, I will still tell you, but let's follow it gradually. So you, while doing that, trading at the appropriate time, you always have advantage in the market. Some of you have heard about you have heard about forex before, though you may not have known how to trade the market. But I believe by end of this class, you can trade and start making profit. No, you'll still understand what I mean. So now let's go to Nigeria. You understand the time sections, various trading section, the various forex trading sections. Want to look at the forex trading sections and their market hours in Nigeria time zone. That's what I want us to look at, Nigerian time zone. I think I've mentioned Asian section, mentioned Europe section, which is have to do with London. I've mentioned New York section. I want to look at the time in Nigeria because where we are staying in Nigeria, we don't need to be talking about the time in America and all those. We want to talk about the time in Nigeria. Asian section, Asian market account for around 20% of daily forex trading volumes. The major participants are traders from Japan. So Asians consist of traders from Japan, Australia, Hong Kong, and Singapore. And it is open from 1 a.m. to 10 a.m. You understand? It is open from Nigerian time, 1 a.m. to what? 10 a.m. That is Asian session. It's from 1 a.m. to what? 10 a.m. The main characteristics of Asian session are the major currency pairs that have the highest volume in the Asian session include AUD US. AUD means Australian dollar versus US dollar, US dollar, Japanese yen, and New Zealand dollar, US dollar versus US dollar. In the Asian market, the most traded currencies are what? The Japanese yen. You understand? Remember, I said the Asian section opens by 1 a.m. and closes by what? 10 a.m. in Nigeria. Yes, Nigerian time. And I've mentioned the major currencies that are traded are Japanese yen and the Australian dollar. Then the volatility and liquidity in major currency pairs like Euro USD, GBP USD is low for daily trade. So you should not trade this. Yes. Then currencies during these sessions has the chances to make profit are slim. You understand? They are very slim. So the forex market in Tokyo, we are talking about Tokyo session, opens at 1 a.m. and closes at 10 a.m. in Nigeria. That's we are still talking about the Tokyo session, because Tokyo session and Asian session, they open at the same time. There is an overlap. There is an overlap occurs in the last 4 hours of the Tokyo session and the first hour of the London session. Since the closing hours of the Asian session overlap with the London session opening, Asian traders occasionally witness breakout at the end of the day due to the instant liquidity. So what are we talking about? We're talking about that. I would say discuss breakouts. We're talking about what we are saying is that the Tokyo session and the Asian session, London session, they occasionally witness breakout at the end of the day, and due to instant liquidity. Then number 4, news from Japan and Australia will impact the price movement in the session. I've not taught you how to analyze the market. We have 2 ways of analyzing the market: fundamental analysis and technical analysis. By the time we'll start talking about fundamental analysis, that's when we'll talk about how news affect the market. Okay.
Please be a bit louder please a bit louder.
Okay. Let me still increase my voice. It is better to scan the market during Asian session and plan your trades for the overlap between the London and New York session. So let's look at European session. European session. Globally, European session is the largest financial session in the world. The trading in the session contributes around 37% of the total daily forex traded turnover. The major participants are the participants in the European session include major participants from London and Germany. The London market opened at 8 a.m. and closes by 5 p.m. Nigerian time. The main catalysts of the London section. The currency pairs are highest volume in the London section. Euro that are highest volume in the London section are Euro USD, GBP USD, Euro GBP, USD share. These are the most traded currencies in European section. And liquidity is highest during the opening of the London session. So the spread are the lowest, breakouts and trends in measures are common in the sections. So it is perfect time for profitable trading. There's perfect time for profitable trading. So price movements are mainly affected by the news. We also talk about the news. Most of the things I'm talking about now may look strange to you. By the time we'll start looking into all those things, you will understand it better. So let's look at New York session. After London, New York is the second largest session in the world. The New York session contributes about 17% to 18% of the total daily forex trading turnover. Major participants are traders from America and Canada. The forex market in the New York session opened from 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. Nigerian time. So the main characteristics of the New York session are: pairs include USD are highly volatile during the New York session. Currency pairs like USD CAD, Euro USD, GBP USD, Euro JPY, and GBP JPY have the highest movement. So all these things I'm mentioning are the currencies we trade under New York section. You understand? They have the highest volatility. So now the question now is, among all this, of all the things I've said, what is the best time to trade forex in Nigeria? Nigerian traders should trade during the opening hours of the London session. That is 8 a.m. To early New York session hours till 5 p.m. Nigerian time. You will start from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Nigerian time. That is the best hours to trade forex in Nigeria. Start from 8 a.m. and 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. That is the best hour. This is the time when the liquidity is highest for major currency pairs like Euro USD, GBP USD. Trends are common during these hours, and also there are a lot of chances to close position profitably in short time. So it is perfect time for day trading. So in general, the hours to trade forex will also depend upon your trading strategy and the currency pairs that you want to trade. For example, if you want to trade JPY, then you might want to trade during the Asian session as well for picking the movement. So I believe that by practice, you have to practice demo account to figure which hours of the day best suits your trading strategy. Only after you have found a working strategy, you should then trade live in those hours. Okay, now next topic now. I don't know whether you have any question from the topic we discussed. We want to enter uh, another topic, which is terminologies used in forex. Do you have any question? If you don't have any question, we'll discuss terminologies used in forex. Do you have any question?
Not a question really, but an observation.
Okay, what is the observation?
The write-up on my screen is not clear.
Okay.
So that, and your voice goes down also.
I can hear you very well. My voice is okay. At least, should I increase the font? If I want me to increase the font, see the font.
The background now shows this thing, but the write-up is faint.
Ah, the right top is faint. I don't know why the right top is faint. It's supposed to be. Can you see? Is it still faint?
Bit better because now that you have changed the background of the writing.
The background.
Now it is very clear now. It is very clear now.
Okay. Okay. So,
But
okay.
if we can put the background,
I should change the background.
color the background.
Oh, I should color it.
Background, so
I should change the color.
It looks like a highlight. It looks like you highlight the background. You know, the right of the background in the hair as it is a bit clearer. But we can go on because one thing is that if I'm able to get this recording,
Okay.
by the time I go over it, this time I can digest, and then if there's any question, I put it forward for the next class. So you can go on.
Okay. Okay. So let's look at the terminologies used in forex. As you can see, we have like field of medicine, engineering, accounting, and the rest have their unique terms with which they communicate. So in forex, we have our unique terms to which we communicate. Likewise, forex its own terms make it easier to communicate with other forex traders who have the terms who have to get yourself. You have to get yourself acquainted with the forex terminologies. This is because we will be using them during the trading, and as well as time goes on, so you must know them. So because when you are reading some of the news about forex, you will encounter such terms. So it is good for you to know those terms. When you hear about bulls, look at bulls. Bulls, BULLX, means what? The buyers. The bull, BULLX, means what? The buyers. Then the bears, BEARS, are the sellers. They are the sellers. The bears are the sellers. We also have the bullish market. Bullish market. Bullish market is the market that is going up. Buyers are dominating sellers. That buyers are more in the market. We will call it bullish market. Then bearish market. The market is going downwards. The sellers are dominating the what? The buyers. That's what's called bearish market. Look at it, bearish market. Bearish market. Bearish market means what? The market is going down and the sellers are dominating. Yes, the sellers are in the what? The market. Another one, another term is to go long. To go long means to buy. You can hear a trader say, I want to go long. What it means that he wants to do what? To buy. Then to go short means what? Here trader say, I want to go short means what? He or she wants to do what? Sell. Let's look at trading markets. Trading market, trending. Look at it. Trending market. This means a market that has a given direction, either upwards or downwards. The market that is either going upwards or downwards. That is what is called trending market. Is that the market is either going upwards or going downwards. Another thing we have is ranging market. Ranging market, it means a market that has no direction. It moves sideways. I will show you an example of a ranging market. It has no direction. It's just moving what? Sideways. When the market is ranging, it has no direction. I have a tool so that I can draw something, show you. Don't worry, by the time we start analyzing the market, I will show you what a ranging market is. Another one is what? Hawkish. There's something we'll call hawkish. Hawkish. There's something we'll call hawkish. Hawkish. This term is mostly used when referring to what? Central Reserve Bank governors or personnel of an economic influence in a country. When they are hawkish, they tend to be liberal on interest rate and are willing to increase it. This is good for investors. So hawkish means a good news. Hawkish means a good news. Then dovish. Dovish. I talk about dovish. 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 I want to highlight it so that you see it. Dovish. Dovish, this is the opposite of hawkish. The financial personnel who are dovish are very restrictive. They do not want to tamper with interest rates. They even want to reduce it. This is bad news for investors. So dovish means what? Bad news. This is what all these things I've mentioned are some of the pairs, some of the terms used in forex. So you have to get used to them. You understand? You remember all the terms I've mentioned: dovish, hawkish, trending market, ranging market, to go long and to go short, and so many of them I mentioned. You have to master all these forex trading terms. So maybe the next topic we are going to look at now is forms of trading analysis. The forms of trend analysis. There are two ways of analyzing markets. First, by fundamental analysis. This is fundamental analysis. When we are analyzing fundamental analysis, we are talking about the news. And the second one is what? Technical analysis. When we are analyzing technically, we are using tools, price action to analyze. I will still explain in details what I mean by fundamental analysis and technical analysis. So you have to take note of all this. So now let's discuss fundamental analysis. Fundamental analysis, the traders analyzes or predict the price of currency by events happening in the economy. I repeat, in fundamental analysis, The trader analyzes or predicts the price of currency by events happening in the economy. The state of the economy is what moves the market. If the economy of a country is doing well, it reflects in the currency of that country. Let's say currency of USA is a USD. If it's doing well, it reflects on euro. It reflects on the USD. So it may cause the price to go up. It may cause the price to come down. If it's doing well, it may call good news means may cause the price to go up. Bad news can even make the price to come down. So if the country of the country is doing well, it reflects in the currency of that country. For example, if the economy of USA is growing, the value of the US dollar also grows when compared to the other currency. So you should know that fundamental factors like news and other informations are what moves the market. I hope you get this point. So traders make trading decisions based on the news released by the country. By the time we start analyzing the market, I will still tell you the site to visit to read the news, know whether the market will go up or down, know which currency is affected by the news. Yeah, you can go to forexfactory.com. By the time we start analyzing the market, I will still go to forexfactory.com so that you become acquainted with the site and the forex calendar and know where to get the news. Maybe before trading, you first of all head to forexfactory.com to know whether we have a highly impact news that may cause the market to move up or down. So you either buy or sell based on the information from the news. We see all this news on CNN, Bloomberg, CNBC, etc. And your MT4 app has a summary of the news sections. Also, some sites like forexfactory.com, I've talked about it, dailyfs.com contains summary of the news release that affects the forex. We would come to see them later. So whether the news is good or bad, in forex, you can make money in both ways. Some important news we trade include some of the important news we trade include employment to unemployment rate, interest rate, retail sales, NFP. NFP means non-farm payroll. I will still talk about it before we close today. Today we will be discussing an important news released by the United States. Even though there is a new release every day, there is what forex traders call king of the news. The king of the news is called NFP, non-farm payroll. This is a news released by the United States of America. Among all the news released by the US, this is the highest because it causes the most volatility in the markets. Non-farm payroll is one of the biggest news that every trader awaits on. Let's start with understanding the NFP, what NFP is. Let's talk about what the news entails, what NFP means. Is a news that contains various data and statistics released by the US Bureau of Labor and Statistics. It is influential as an indicator of US economy because of the US Federal Reserve make monetary policy decisions based on this data. Hence, investors, financial analysts, forex traders, stock traders make trading decisions with the news. It is released every first Friday of the month. What is released every first Friday of the month? NFP. And it is released by 8:30 a.m. in news. In Nigeria, it is 1:30 p.m. in Nigeria. That is the time in Nigeria. 1 p.m. That's every first Friday of the month. Like last week Friday was when the first news was the NFP was released. So it's released every first Friday of the month by 1:30 p.m. So traders make decision based on the news whether to buy or sell. Okay, let's go on. Non-farm payroll increases. This is the number of new jobs added to U.S. labor sector in previous months. This data include employment in the manufacturing sector, construction sector, and goods sector. Excluding farm workers, also excluding private household employees and non-profit organizations. It also includes unemployment of the USA, which sectors of the economy these jobs were added mostly. It gives investors and traders where are the possible sectors to invest in as the sector that added more jobs would be most likely to have experienced growth. It also includes the average hourly earnings of the workers in the USA. It is also economic indicator because even if the number of workers didn't change, their earnings increase. It will have the same effect as if their number increase. Step also could be interpreted in reverse. If their earnings reduce, then lastly, the data includes a revision of various farm payroll because investors compare these values together. Whether there has been an improvement or reduction. This also gives you an idea if the economy is growing or reducing. So we are still talking about NFP, the news, what the content of the news. That's what we are talking about. Let's say we see how to analyze the NFP. Want to see how we analyze the NFP, that is the non-farm payroll. Now let's get how to interpret the data. Interpretation of the NFP. So when more jobs are added, it means that business ventures are growing, and remember that these newly employed would be paid. Hence, more people would have money to spend on goods and services, hence increasing the growth of the world economy. There is a saying that no forex trader finishes his wedding or party on the first Friday of any month except is a night event. So as a forex trader, never miss first Friday of every month because this is when NFP, that is non-farm payroll, news is released by 1:30 p.m. Nigerian time. Okay, if you are driving and it is 1:20 p.m., just park, open your phone, read the NFP news and continue where you are going. Or if you are a student and it's time for NFP, you are in a class, just excuse yourself and 2 minutes and read the news. So even if you are sick, God forbid, just tell them to give you your phone that Friday because you can't miss NFP. That is how big the news is. Don't ever forget about that. So this is just a breakdown of the NFP, NFP entails and why it is volatile. Before the time we begin to analyze, I will show you what NFP news can cause to the market. And as I said earlier, it is usually released first Friday of every month. So we would all be together and trade the news next month. So by that time, you would have known how to trade the news. Some traders, once in a month, they fund their account, especially for NFP, and close for the month. More people make what you would be paid in a year just on an NFP afternoon. That is how massive NFP news are. So it causes large volatility in the market. Okay, summary of what we are talking about. Let me just summarize. Good news means to buy the currency. You understand? when you have NFP, the NFP news is a good news. It means you have to buy the what? The currency. The bad news means you have to do what? Sell the currency. So that is a summary of fundamental analysis. You can analyze the market using fundamental analysis. Remember, first Friday of every month is NFP, non-farm payroll. Good news means what? Buy the currency. Bad news means what? Sell the currency. That is how traders view the news. So I think we'll stop here this night, and you can ask questions so that you have time to go through the video over and over and understand what we are talking about in fundamental analysis. Maybe in our next class, we are going to discuss technical analysis and know what it's all about. Do you have any question? If you don't have any question, I will stop the video and send it to you so that you can watch it through the YouTube. Do you have any question? Hello, do you have any question? Okay, in absence of any other question, I will stop here so that I'll send the video for you to watch very well. In our next class, is going to hold. Okay.
As I said earlier.
Yes.
As I said earlier.
Yes.
Not really a question. It's not clear.
What?
It's not clear.
Okay. When I send it to you, you will get it. It will be clear. Like your voice is not clear because it's because of your network. Your network is not clear. When I send you the video, and when
if I get the video, I won't be able to make much decent out of it.
No, the video will be clear. The video will be clear. I promise you. The video will be clear. So I will send you the video. Let me stop the class here. Thank you.